How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks. We focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. It did have a small pullback inside of the market. We did end up getting some news from Jerome Powell, which was exactly what we were looking for. We don't have to worry about any rate hikes until next year. So let this rally continue. We just want to see Lucid actually be a part of it and make some money in the process. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what Lucid looks like in the bullish case scenario as well as in the bearish case scenario. We are now in a different environment, so we got to make sure we have a strong strategy. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $40.81, being down 0.15%. On the low, it tested $38.80, and then on the high, testing $41.69. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 59.05 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days, it's at 77.953 million shares. So we were below the average in regards to volume, but we just saw a slight pullback inside of the stock. I was actually expecting to see some strength due to the fact we did see a strong rally in the markets, but of course, this is why we continue to keep an eye on the play, right? So now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 47.07. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 21-day EMA. We are above the 50-day. We're also above the 100-day and the 200-day. So the first thing that I want to point out, Lucid is forming higher lows. So this is a bullish sign right here. So going into tomorrow, you're going to want to see it continue to have strength around this $38.80 area. Even if it decided to pull back to the 50-day at 38.36, it would still look fairly healthy. As far as for the high of the day, we ended up getting to 41.69. You guys know the crucial area I want to see it actually pass is at 42.50. So if we have continued momentum and we could pass 42.50, then we can reclaim that 21-day EMA at 43.70. And I feel this is when it's going to start grabbing a lot of attention from traders and we can see that move up. As far as for the bearish case scenario, if it decides to have a strong pullback, you could see it possibly get down here to 37.50. I myself personally, I really don't see this happening, especially if there's demand for Lucid shares. But again, we can never predict what exactly is going to happen inside of these markets. But for the best case scenario, let's see if Lucid can get to the $42 level, past $42.50, and then see where we can go from there. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Lucid. So for the dark pool short volume ratio is at 58.91%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 20.99 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 350,000, updated 2 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 2.85%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 13th, it was at 62.54. And then for the close of the 14th, which was yesterday, it's at 58.91. So what this tells us right away, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why you see a lot of volatility inside of this stock. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow is at 451, and then on the outflow it was 590. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, we had 5.01 million. On the medium, it was 218, and then on the small, it was 228. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 34.09. Then on the medium, it was 300. And then on the small, it was 256. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for December the 15th, which is today, it being that outflow of 29.08 million. Analyzing the numbers even further, you can see for the small scale orders, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then taking a look at the large, we had a lot more selling than we had buying. Now, taking a look at the turnover ratio, it was around 3.59%. So again, Lucid does continue to trade in a tight range. There are many traders who are inside of this play, and this is why we are seeing consistency in regards to the turnover. And as far as for how the price action was today, I was expecting it to actually finish green since we did see a rally towards the end of the day inside of the market. But this does mean we could potentially see this either tomorrow or even on Friday. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid Group in regards to the price action, you want to see some strength right at the 50-day EMA, which is around $38.36. To be exact, you want to see it hold up $38 for the most part. And then what you're going to want to see is it actually having some price action above $42.50, which I've mentioned many times on this channel. If it decides to actually consolidate between $38 and $40, that is not bad either, because what this tells us, this can get us ready for the next move up. So now that you guys got those two scenarios, you should be able to come up with a solid strategy alongside with your homework and your due diligence. As far as for the bearish case scenario, you've already guessed it. We'd have to see it actually break through $38. But from taking a look at the chart, we are forming some higher lows, and this is why we could see the sentiment has turned around. Things are starting to look bullish. So let's see if we have buyers continuing to step in as this week comes closer to the end. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. There's many shorts who are vested in this play, and this is why you want to keep this on your radar. It does present a lot of opportunities for traders, whether you want to go long on the play or whether you want to go short or buy puts and so on. As far as for anyone who's a long-term investor, you want to be using a dollar cost averaging approach, and then you got to think about the entry that is right for you. I myself personally, I have not added any shares whatsoever, and I think the next time I'd actually even consider adding shares to my position if it came back below under $20. Hey, that is just me. I'm not saying that you should be using the same strategy, but I feel this is the most wise thing to do when it comes to a play like this, considering its valuation and knowing that Lucid does have a lot to prove to the overall market. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow.